So a lot of people talk about selfishness and unselfishness, and truthfully, selfishness has gotten quite a bad rap, and there's really no reason for it. Let me explain. From a spiritual perspective, okay, from the perspective of healing yourself, working on yourself, transforming yourself, all aspects of personal development, it's all about you. And at the highest level, it is completely you. You're even the source of all your problems, and you're also the solution to all of your problems, because we all have specific life lessons that we need to learn. But it's all of the self. So spirituality, or the healing process, or the growth process, or the expansion process, or the process of change, and the process of becoming all that you truly are and all that you're born to be, is an act of selfishness in and of itself. So selfishness doesn't need to get the bad rap that it's been getting. Because yes, in the outer world, right, in the physical world, in your day-to-day life, it is beautiful and wonderful to be selfless, right? And to be unselfish, and to share and to give and to love unconditionally and not judge people, and to honor the perfection of each individual and their choices that they make for themselves. With the exception of if they're impacting you in a negative way, then you need to speak up, right? You need to create the boundaries and not allow anyone to ever abuse you or take advantage of you, or to inflict any non-love against you at all. But when it comes to self, when it comes to going inwards, when it comes to doing the real work, and to being honest, and to getting at all the cobwebs and all the things inside of you that is preventing you from the ultimate life and the ultimate experience that is available to you equally as it is to every single other human being. Now, a lot of people tend to equate the end result with the material world. So a lot of people will tend to look up to the people in power, the people with the big houses, the fast cars, the money in the bank, and all of that. But that's not where the true richness comes from. Those can potentially be the results of becoming who you truly are and who you were born to be, if you choose to, and if that is something that makes you happy and gives you pleasure, truthfully. But the truth is, though, that when you really do the work, a lot of that stuff won't have the same meaning as it does to lesser consciousnesses. Again, I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with having all that stuff, but at the end of the day, it is just stuff, and it doesn't provide richness and fulfillment inside of one's heart at the true essence of who you truly are, and the level at which you can live and embody your God self, your divinity, your true essence. It's not what gives peace. It's not what truly gives happiness. A lot of people will think and they will talk and say that it does, but they're not really happy. It's a facade. A lot of people are very much in denial or in self-delusion, or they're misrepresenting themselves. We see it a lot online right now. A lot of people putting up their social media profiles or even in the dating apps and everything, and they're presenting themselves like, look at me, you know, and then they're modifying their bodies and doing all sorts of craziness to feel better about themselves. And then they're presenting themselves with these photoshopped images or staged images to look as if, look at me. And people are buying into that. And you know what that's actually feeding? It's feeding suicide and depression. It's feeding, that inauthenticity is feeding so much darkness. Is it any wonder that our youth feel so lost and feel like they can't keep up? Because people are presenting their best selves out there. In some cases, so am I. If I was to be totally honest, because I'm presenting to you all the ideals, which are the truths. But I have my ups and downs. I go through hell sometimes with my emotions and with the stuff that I'm working on and the depths of what is coming up, you know, and the imposter syndrome and what people may or may not think. And am I doing the best that I can to convey what I know to be true and what I've experienced and what I experience more and more and more in my life? But to say that I'm always up here would be an absolute, utter lie. And it's actually against the whole nature of creation and life on this planet in the first place. Because we're here to learn, and growth and expansion is infinite. So the moment that you want to better your life in any way, shape, or form, you have to step outside of who you are today, which creates discomfort, which requires change. That's the only way that growth can happen. And it's a selfish process. It's a selfish process because no one's going to do it for you. No one can do anything for you. What I mean by that is the inner work. On the physical plane, yeah, you can hire people to do all sorts of stuff, but no one can make you happy. No one can show you who you truly are and who you were born to be unless you are selfish enough to put aside all the things that are going on in the world, right, in your life, and you take the time to actually sit down and meditate, right? Or you take the time to go inwards and silence everything and go, okay, what the heck's really going on with me? And how can I start fostering the ultimate relationship with self, which is the ultimate relationship? And that includes putting your kids aside. It includes putting your spouse aside. It includes putting everything aside because it's the number one. And you know who benefits when you change and you do that work and you are selfish and create that true self-care? Not the self-care of, I'm going to go pamper myself and I'm going to watch TV and I'm going to, do all of these things that are great because everyone does need to unwind. Don't get me wrong. But self-care has become this indulgence in being irresponsible and not doing the things that actually really create the real change inside, that actually fosters permanent changes that will make your life so much more easier and so much more better than what it is right now. It's true. It's true. If people were actually honest and look at their schedules, you can fit meditation in. You can fit the certain practices and tools and the different things that I teach and that I provide and that other teachers provide. If you haven't joined my Facebook group, which is for free, join my Facebook group. It's called Reclaim Yourself. Links down below. And it'll give you tons of cool things that you can implement in your life that have a profound change. But yes, there is a level of selfishness, and selfishness is not bad. Selfishness is a good thing when it's used in a way that is to foster something that's healthy, something that's profound, and something that's transformative in your life. And that should be the highest priority, but not to the degree where you shirk all your responsibilities and then you become selfish in the negative way. Yes, selfishness in the correct context is the new unselfishness. It's the new selflessness. Because too many people are not giving themselves that opportunity. And honestly, meditation and doing the real self-work and journaling and all the different tools that you can do are way more important than reading book after book after book, unless you're specifically guided to read a specific book. Because we don't need to be feeding our minds with information. We already have access to everything we need. Again, I'm not talking about if you're guided to, or I'm not talking about if you happen to be starting a business and you need to learn how to do marketing or something like that. But you'll be guided to that, right? And by going inwards, you'll get guided straight to what you actually need or what you need to learn, rather than having to frantically figure it all out and get confused with all the noise that's out there. That's all I have to say on that. Check out my other videos and other things that I've got going on. Thank you for listening.